Hi, I'm Anna. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. One click from you means more stories can be shared. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers and make a difference. Let's begin. My life with Mark used to look perfect on paper. Beautiful house in the suburbs, successful husband with his own accounting firm, and me with my interior design business. 5 years of what I thought was marital bliss. Babe, I made your favorite tea, chamomile with honey, just how you like it, Mark called from the kitchen one evening. I smiled, not thinking twice about it. That's when the headaches started. Small things at first. I'd forget conversations we had the night before, wake up groggy with chunks of time missing. Did I agree to sell my grandmother's antique dresser? I asked Mark one morning, noticing it gone from our bedroom. Of course you did, Anna. We talked about it last night. You said you wanted to redecorate. Are you feeling okay? But I hadn't. I would never sell that dresser. It was the only thing I had left from my grandmother, along with the inheritance she left me. Anna, you're scaring me. Maybe we should see Dr. Patel about these memory issues, Mark suggested, his concern seeming genuine. I started noticing a pattern. These episodes always happened after my nightly tea. One evening, I pretended to take a work call and watched Mark through the reflection in our hallway mirror. He pulled something from his pocket, a small vial, and tapped white powder into my mug. My heart stopped. Was my husband drugging me? That night, I pretended to drink the tea, but poured it into the potted plant when he wasn't looking. I got into bed, slowed my breathing, and waited. Mark checked on me an hour later, waving his hand in front of my face. Satisfied I was asleep, he made a phone call in our bedroom. Hey, Cameron, it's working perfectly. She doesn't suspect a thing. Yeah, the dosage is just right. She's confused enough that no one would question if she needs a conservatorship. I forced myself to breathe steadily despite my racing heart. Her inheritance is almost accessible. Once I'm named her guardian, we can move forward with the business expansion. The doctor's appointment next week should seal the deal. Anna's family history of mental illness makes this completely believable. What mental illness? My family had no such history. If she's declared incompetent, I get control of everything. With her grandmother's money, we can finally pay off our debts and launch the real estate venture. I'd never felt such betrayal. Mark had been my college sweetheart, the man I trusted with everything. Now he was plotting to steal my inheritance by making me appear insane. When he finally fell asleep, I silently slipped out of bed. My hands trembled as I took his phone, scrolling through messages between him and Cameron. There it was. Months of conversations about my deteriorating mental state and plans for my money. I put the phone back exactly where it was. Mark wouldn't know I was on to him. Not yet. Tomorrow I'd start gathering evidence. This man who vowed to love me would learn exactly who he was messing with. The next morning, I called my best friend Sophia while Mark was in the shower. I need to see you. It's an emergency. Can you meet me at Riverside Cafe in an hour? Are you okay? You sound freaked out. I'll explain everything when I see you. Just don't tell anyone we're meeting. At the cafe, Sophia's eyes widened as I showed her the photos I'd taken of the powder residue in my mug and played the recording of Mark's conversation. Holy shit, Anna! He's actually drugging you? What are you going to do? I need evidence no one can dispute. I need your help installing cameras. You got it. My brother works in security. He can get us something untraceable. 2 days later, while Mark was at a business lunch with Cameron, Sophia helped me install 3 tiny cameras. One in the kitchen aimed at the counter where Mark prepared my tea, one in our bedroom, and one in his home office. These connect directly to this secure cloud storage. Only you have the password, Sophia explained. If something happens to you, I have emergency access. You're literally saving my life right now. What are best friends for if not helping take down drugging husbands? I continued pretending to drink the tea each night, dumping it when Mark wasn't looking. Within 3 days, we had clear footage of him adding powder to my drinks on multiple occasions. I made an appointment with Dr. Patel, claiming I needed a physical for a new life insurance policy. Mrs. Johnson, your blood work shows concerning levels of benzodiazepines. Are you taking any medication I should know about? No, nothing at all. What does that mean? These are sedatives, commonly prescribed for anxiety. Long-term exposure can cause memory issues, confusion, lethargy. Have you experienced these symptoms? Yes, exactly those. Could someone be giving these to me without my knowledge? Dr. Patel's expression shifted. I'm legally obligated to ask if you feel safe at home. I'm handling the situation, but I need this documented officially. While checking Mark's calendar on our shared home computer, I discovered appointments with Gerald Finch, an attorney specializing in conservatorships. The following day, I told Mark I was meeting a client, but instead sat in my car across from Finch's office, watching Mark arrive for his appointment. That evening, I pretended to go to bed early, but hid in the hallway when Cameron came over. Their voices carried from Mark's office. The investors are pulling out, Mark. We need that capital in 2 weeks, or we lose everything. It's under control. The doctors already documented her confusion. Once I have power of attorney, we access her inheritance and solve our problems in one move. What if she fights it? Who's going to believe someone who can't remember what day it is? I've got witnesses, friends, her clients, even her doctor. Everyone's seen her episodes. After Cameron left, I called Sophia. I've got enough. Time to set a trap. What's the plan? Something public. Something Mark and Cameron can't wiggle out of. And I know exactly what to do. Sophia and I spent the next morning at the police station with Detective Rivera, a stern-faced woman with 20 years of experience. These recordings are disturbing, Mrs. Johnson. Your husband is clearly adding something to your drinks without your knowledge. Can you arrest him now? Sophia asked. We need to establish intent and connect it directly to the financial fraud. The recordings prove he's drugging you, but not why. So what do we do? I asked. Play along. Make him think his plan is working. Meanwhile, we'll build a stronger case. I nodded. I can do that. Be careful, Rivera warned. Men like this can be dangerous when cornered. That afternoon, I visited a bank branch across town where Mark and I didn't have accounts. I accessed our joint financial records through online banking and discovered horrifying transactions. He's been siphoning money for months, I told Sophia over the phone from my car. Almost $200,000 gone from our joint savings. That bastard. What did he do with it all? Transferred to an account I don't recognize, probably funding whatever scheme he's cooking up with Cameron. The next day, I met with attorney Melissa Daniels, who specialized in financial abuse cases. We need to protect your assets immediately, Daniels advised, reviewing the evidence. I'll file emergency orders to freeze your accounts and separate your finances. What about my grandmother's inheritance? That's what he's really after. I'll contact the trust administrator today. By tomorrow, your husband won't be able to touch a penny. At home, I ramped up my symptoms. I'd stare blankly during conversations, forget appointments, and seem confused about simple tasks. Mark was eating it up. Hey, babe, don't forget we have dinner with the Williamses tonight. Dinner? Did you tell me about this? I asked, purposely looking disoriented. We talked about it yesterday, Anna. See, this is what worries me. That evening, I overheard Mark on the phone. Yeah, it's getting worse, Mom. She couldn't even remember we had plans tonight. I'm really worried. The doctor thinks it might be early onset dementia. I know, she's only 34. It's heartbreaking. I gritted my teeth, forcing myself to stay quiet. The next day, Sophia reported back after running into our mutual friend, Denise. Mark told everyone at the gym you've been having episodes. Said you accused him of stealing from you during a paranoid breakdown. Perfect. He's laying the groundwork exactly like we predicted. By Friday, everything was in place. My assets were secured, Detective Rivera had a warrant ready, and our annual dinner party with Mark's business associates was the next evening. Are you sure about this? Sophia asked during our final planning session. Exposing him in front of everyone is risky. It's the only way. Public humiliation is what Mark fears most. Plus, if Cameron sees Mark going down, he'll flip to save himself. I checked the hidden camera feeds one last time and packed my evidence into a secure folder. Tomorrow night, Mark Johnson learns exactly who he married. Saturday evening arrived. Our dining room looked perfect. Expensive wine, gourmet catering, and 8 guests, including Cameron and his wife, plus 3 other couples from Mark's business circle. "You outdid yourself, darling," Mark said, squeezing my shoulder as guests arrived. "Are you feeling clear-headed tonight?" "Crystal clear," I replied with a smile that didn't reach my eyes. During appetizers, Mark prepared my usual tea in front of everyone. "My wife's been under the weather lately. This special tea helps her relax," he announced, making a show of his concern. I caught Cameron's knowing glance. The bastard was in on everything. After Mark set the tea in front of me, I stood up and tapped my glass. "Before we continue, I'd like to share something interesting with all of you." I connected my phone to our TV screen and played the compilation of footage showing Mark drugging my drinks over the past week. "What is this?" Laura Wilson gasped. "That's my husband adding sedatives to my drinks without my knowledge. For months, he's been drugging me to make me appear mentally incompetent." "This is ridiculous," Mark sputtered, his face reddening. "Anna has been having episodes. She's clearly paranoid. Is that why my blood tests show benzodiazepines I never knowingly took? Is that why you've been meeting with attorneys specializing in conservatorships?" Cameron stood up. "Mark, what the hell is going on?" "Let me help explain," came a voice from our entryway. Detective Rivera stepped into the dining room, followed by 2 uniformed officers. "Mark Johnson, I have a warrant for your arrest on charges of administering a controlled substance without consent and attempted financial fraud." "This is insane! You can't believe her!" Mark shouted as the officers approached. I played the recording of his conversation with Cameron about accessing my inheritance. "You were going to steal everything from me. My money, my sanity, my life." Cameron backed away from Mark, eyes wide. "I had no idea you were drugging her. You told me she had early-onset dementia." "Don't play innocent, Cameron," I snapped. "You knew exactly what was happening." "I'll cooperate fully," Cameron blurted, looking at Rivera. "I have emails, texts, everything showing Mark's financial schemes." As the officers handcuffed Mark, he lunged toward me. "You stupid bitch! You'll regret this!" "The only thing I regret is wasting 5 years with you." The guests sat stunned as Mark was led away, his carefully crafted reputation shattered in minutes. 6 months later, Mark pleaded guilty to all charges, facing 7 years in prison. Cameron received probation in exchange for his testimony. I filed for divorce and sold our house. With my interior design business thriving, I bought a downtown loft overlooking the river, a place that was entirely mine. "To your new beginning," Sophia said, raising her glass during my housewarming party. "To justice," I replied, clinking glasses with her and Detective Rivera, who'd become a friend. Later that evening, standing on my balcony alone, I finally felt free. The man who tried to destroy me was behind bars, while I was stronger than ever. Anyone who underestimates a woman's determination to survive deserves what's coming to them. What do you think? Are there some betrayals that are simply unforgivable? Or should we always leave room for forgiveness, no matter how severe the violation of trust? Would you have exposed Mark publicly like Anna did? Or handled it differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please consider giving it a like. Each subscription helps our channel grow and allows us to share more stories like Anna's. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.